And even though I didn't want to be um, dependent of someone to make money, you're still gonna be dependent of somebody. In this case, will be my clients. So if my clients cannot sell any products because the economy is not doing well, uh, I'm still dependent. They're dependent of of their customers, and I'm dependent of those clients. If they're not producing any new products because the economy is not doing well, well, that's going to affect everyone on that chain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even even though that's not what I wanted to do, I am still dependent of somebody.
Life that I'm living. Sit back, chillin', start a multi-business with the focus, making millions. It's the stuff that dreams are made of, and no hate. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Let's Talk Business. Today, I have the guest with me, Christian Alonzo Cuatepotzo.
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 Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. One of our local instructors here at Ivy Tech, but also a business owner. I wanted to take this opportunity to talk to him a little bit about his business journey here in this area. And I'm sure for anyone that's in the industry of photography, you're going to really enjoy this episode. So, Alonzo, how we doing?
Doing well. How you doing?
Good. I apologize for messing the name up. The last name kind of
Don't worry.
So, So just say it one more time for us.
Cuatepotzo.
There we go. That's how you say it. All right. Mm-hmm. So now, Alonzo, I wanted to ask you, I met you from being in class.
Mm-hmm.
And you and we were able to have some great discussions
Yes,
as men, but also as businessmen.
Mm-hmm.
And you, my friend, gave me some real great information that I'll be taking with me moving forward in my personal journey. But I wanted to talk about your journey today. So first and foremost, tell us, where are you from and how did you get here?
Originally, I'm from Mexico, from the state of Hidalgo. My parents moved me here back on 1998. So I was 16 years old when I came to the United States. Went to school and to high school, Concord High School. Graduated from Concord High School, and I took 2 years at Elkhart Career Center.
Nice.
So from there, that's where I started doing photography, learning.
Okay, so it was at high school that you started photography?
Yes, right before my junior year, that's when they told me that I could go to Elkhart Career Center and take a career, or start a career, 2-year career there.
Okay.
And I chose photography.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that choice. What was it about photography that you said, I want to do a career with that? What was it?
Mainly it was that as soon as I graduated from high school, I wanted to start a business. My dad had his own business, totally different business, but my dad had his own business. All his brothers had their own businesses. So I wanted to be my own boss and have my own business. I knew it wasn't going to be easy, but I wanted to start doing that. And going through all these careers that they were taught at Elkhart Career Center, none of them will, well, at least that's the way I felt, that none of them will give me I could not start doing my business right off the bat. I will still have to go to a university or another college to keep going with it. Okay. So I thought at the moment when I was 17, 18 years old, I thought, okay, I need something that I could do right away. And I thought photography would be something that I could start right away.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. So it sounds like you had mentorship that was right there in the home. You said it was your father and others. Now, what was it so appealing to you that made you say, I want to be a boss? What happened, or what was the reason that you knew within yourself you wanted to own your own business?
It wasn't so much that I wanted to be my own boss, but I wanted to make I didn't want to be tight, or how would I say that? I didn't want to be part of a huge company or another company that I could get let go at any time. I didn't want to depend on another company, and I guess that will be the main reason. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be able to, for my own efforts, with my own efforts to um, make money. And if I knew that if I didn't work um, enough, I'm not going to get enough money. But if I did put a lot of effort into my own business, I could earn more money than I could be doing at a factory, or just to be working for somebody like that.
Okay.
So I guess that will be the main reason why I wanted to start my own business. So I like to see myself as a hard worker, and I know that if I put more effort into my jobs, I'm gonna get more money eventually. And usually in a factory or working for a factory, it doesn't matter how hard you work, you make very little progress. You might get a 50-cent raise, maybe a dollar raise. But if I know that if I am working on my own at this moment, if I can get 5 images for a company in a day, I could get X amount of money. But if I can make 7 images and work a little bit harder, I could get even more money within 5, 6 hours, 7 hour range. So I guess that will be the main reason.
Okay. Okay. So you like to control your money. You didn't want to be dependent on someone else, and you mentioned about being let go, which would also affect your money.
Yeah.
So self-sustaining is
So
what
there
you're
you go.
pursuing.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I love that. I love that. And that's most of an entrepreneur business owner's mindset. They want to have self-sustainability. And I appreciate you sharing that. Now, just thinking in terms of you saying, I'm going to start my own business, and how did you go about actually structuring or making your business legal? What was the process that you went through? Because obviously you didn't just know how to do it. So who helped you, and how did you go about doing it?
Well, after college, because once that I found out that I needed a college degree in photography or visual arts, I got a scholarship for Ivy Tech. Ivy Tech gave me a scholarship. That's when I started learning more about legal stuff for businesses. As you know, we take some legal classes, and then I got a how do you call that? What is that called? I got to work with one of the biggest photographers in the area. It was a commercial photographer. He had a huge studio, and I saw that as an opportunity to learn from one of the best in the area. So I took he invited me to go and work for him as an assistant or second shooter. So I started from the bottom, wiping down cars, wiping down products, but I love that because I was learning from one of the best at the time. So and I needed that. I needed that mentorship from somebody that was in the business. So that, I guess that was very important to have, because I learned what to do, what not to do, especially dealing with clients. And I started learning a little bit about legal stuff. Now, when I started my own business, because I was let go from being an assistant after, I believe, was 5 years, that's when I started to look into going on my own. I think that was the right time to do it, but I didn't know anything about how to start a business. So I got advice from an accountant, and that accountant is the one that actually said, okay, we need to do this, you need to do this, and what do you want to do? You want to do this, you want to do that, and then we sit down and we talk about it, and that accountant was able to guide me to the right things and how to go by getting the E18 or ET,
The EIN.
the tax ID number.
Mhm.
Had to register my business with the state,
Mhm.
and that accountant was able to guide me through all those hoops.
Okay. Okay.
So
So having an accountant guide you, and also having a mentor show you, and then being inspired by those in your own household,
mhm.
that's when you came to having the establishment of your own business.
Yes,
Now, is your business by the state registered as a LLC or incorporation? Or
LLC.
LLC. Gotcha.
Mhm.
Gotcha. And how long has your business been active?
Since 2011.
Okay. Okay. So you've had some time to experience that journey of up and down.
Oh yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah, yes.
So let's talk about that up and down. What has been some of the challenges that you have experienced as a business owner in that particular industry of photography?
Well, mine is mainly commercial photography. So there's there shouldn't be a lot of downs. There are months where companies are not doing anything, especially like between December and February. They're not doing much because they're trying to figure out budgets. They're trying to figure out how much they can spend on the next in the next fiscal year, depending on the companies. So there's a down time that there's nothing we can do about. But having like back then on 2008 when we had the was it a recession or
Mhm.
that's when everybody just stopped doing anything on marketing or
Mhm.
advertising, and the first thing that went was the photography.
Mm.
So they were still producing some brochures. They were still producing uh, new shows. They were still going to shows, but they weren't doing any photography because they were not coming up with any new products. They were not doing any of that stuff. So that was a rough time. And even though I didn't want to be um, dependent of someone to make money, you're still gonna be dependent of somebody. In this case, will be my clients. So if my clients cannot sell any products because the economy is not doing well, uh, I'm still dependent. They're dependent of their customers, and I'm dependent of those clients. If they're not producing any new products because the economy is not doing well, that's going to affect everyone on that chain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even even though that's not what I wanted to do, I am still dependent of somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's no escape
Yeah.
to it. There's no escape to it.
Yeah. So it's a domino effect, one
Mhm.
way or another, and there's no escaping that cycle.
Yep.
Okay. So now, and I appreciate you saying that because that's just the part of business that we have to.
Is the nature of it.
It's the nature of the beast, so to speak. So, what made you choose out of all the different styles of photography? What made you say commercial photography is the route I'm going to go? What was it that made you say that's the way to go?
I would think it's just I love taking pictures. It does not matter if it's a baby, if it's a little tablet.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter what it is. But I think I just love taking pictures.
Mhm.
But the thing that I love the most is that I could be taking a portrait of a judge today, and tomorrow I could be taking a tabletop shot of a radio. That's what I've been dealing with this couple of days is the radio, and the challenges that to make it turn on, and all these other challenges. And then the next day I could be taking pictures at a factory of their machinery. I mean, it's not always the same thing. I respect the photographers that they said, I only shoot weddings. And that's all they shoot, just weddings. They love it, they're making money with it. I respect that. But I don't see myself doing that all the time, just shooting one thing after another, just the same thing over and over again, because then we go back to the same thing of if I was working at a factory, that's what I will be doing. You know, either if I'm in a machine making parts, I will be making those parts every single day for 8 hours and in a day, 40 hours a week. I don't think I could do that.
Mm.
Personally, I don't think I could do that. And so that's one of the things that I love about my job is or my business is that every day is something different. Whether
Okay.
it's editing on post production, I find new challenges. Had to change the color on something. Had to get rid of a cord or of a cable or something. Had to soften skin on portraits. There's always something new. So I'm in constant learning and evolving my photography every day.
Okay, okay. So it sounds like you get a great deal of satisfaction from your work, which is a blessing in itself to be happy with what you do. Um, and it also seems because you are a creative person, doing the same thing on a day to day basis can make you get bored.
Yes.
Okay. So you like to keep different perspectives, things that stimulate and challenge the mindset and your creativity as you're mentioning the editing and so forth. And that's a beautiful thing. That's what makes you an artist at heart as a business owner. And that's great. That's great. So let me ask you this. Let's talk about a little bit about the back office of your business. What are some of the challenging things that you had to find yourself dealing with in the back office of your business that you knew you had to have to be successful?
I guess one of the challenges is to be able to not necessarily to make the time, but to be consistent. Um, Unfortunately, a lot of people that are business owners they get the same thing. Or I want to believe that because family members know that you work from home or you have your own business, they think that you're available anytime that they want to contact you, to call you, and so I guess the most challenging is to have that. What is? I'm sorry, I space out. Um, Consistency to say, okay, from this time to this time, I need to get this done, and I'm not gonna talk to anyone. I'm just gonna concentrate on working on this project, and get it done. Um, and it's challenging because sometimes a family member or somebody or a friend, just a friend, will call you and say, "Hey, can you help me with this? Hey, can you help me with that?" And you're like, "I do want to help you, but at the same time, I still have to do this." And to be able to separate that and say, "You know what? I cannot help you. I gotta get this done." Is very challenging for me.
Mm.
For me, I know probably some people is like they turn off their phones. You know what? I'm not taking any calls. But it's been really challenging for me to be able to do that, to separate that, um, the business from the family or the friends or my personal life,
Mm.
and being able to say no, I can't. I cannot help you,
Mm.
even though I could. And so it is one of the challenges for me
Okay.
to be able to do that.
Okay. So it sounds like it's very important to be disciplined as a
Discipline, yes.
yeah, as a
Discipline.
business owner. And
Yes.
that's absolutely true. When people know that they can reach out and touch you, they take full advantage of that. Now, I was just thinking, are you a one-man business? Are you doing all
Yes.
the work? Do you sometimes find yourself outsourcing depending
Yes.
on task?
Yes.
Okay, so when it comes to your back office aspect of it, no doubt there's inventory, right? Is there inventory
Mm,
involved?
Not as much. It's not like we're counting parts, but I guess there is just paper, maybe
Mhm.
ink for the printers,
Okay,
but not much.
not much.
Not much.
Okay, what about the cameras and lights and
Well, lights, camera lenses, they usually last a very long time if you
okay.
really take care of them. Unless there's an accident, something breaks, then you have to replace it, or figure out a way to make it still work.
Yeah, yeah.
And so you don't have to spend or invest another $500, $1,000
Mhm.
into that item. But most of the stuff that or equipment that we use it can last very long time.
Okay.
So when you spend $3,000, $5,000 on a camera body, you know it's going to be for at least 3 or 4 or 5 years
Yeah.
if you really take care of it. So the investment is not really, once that you invest on it, if you really take care of it, it should last you a long time. You won't be able to invest on anything else, except for, okay, they just came up with a new LED light that I think is going to help this project. Then you go ahead and purchase that. But it has to be, in my case, it has to be, I will really have to really need it, justify the purchase in order for me to invest the money on new equipment.
Gotcha.
If I cannot justify it, I just don't even try.
Okay, okay, and that makes sense because you gotta control the spending as well,
Yeah.
and because one of the things we talked about one time on the show, it came up in the conversation, is about dual mingling funds. You know, have you ever found yourself challenged with that?
I guess, yeah. There's always a challenge on
Yeah.
on funds, on how to control that.
Yeah, gotta control
Yes.
that. So your accountant, do you have regular conversations with your accountant? Like, do you have a regular accountant?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that person, no doubt, has helped you to be careful about that.
Oh yeah. Sometimes he will just send me a text and say, "Hey, we need to do this. We need to file
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Hey, have you paid your taxes this quarter?" He's on top of me.
Yeah, yeah.
He's on top of
Yeah.
me.
So would you say that even though he's not officially a part of your business, he's outsourced as a service, right?
Yes.
But he's part of your team.
Yeah, he's part of my team. Yes.
And yeah, see, and that's important when it comes to having a team. Now, you mentioned about balancing your time, being able to do the work. You're a family man.
Yes,
You're a father.
I try to be, yes.
Yeah. Now explain that statement. I try to be.
Because I know I have a family and I need to take care of it. But we cannot always do it 100%.
Right.
So I try to be.
Right.
I don't like to say I am, because I know I'm human and I make mistakes, and I might not always be there for when my kids want me or need me
Right.
because of work, because of just life.
Mhm.
So I don't like to say I am, but I like to say I try to be,
Okay.
just because I'm not perfect.
All right. Well, that's being modest. I appreciate that modesty. But I'm sure your children are happy to see daddy and doing all the work you're doing for them, I'm sure. Now, let's talk a little bit about the industry itself, though. We've touched on some of the back office aspect of your business, and it may be the same for some others. It may be different, depending on their budget and the size of their business. But let's talk about the industry itself. I remember there was a certain phrase that you used. I don't remember it word for word, and I'm going to ask you if you can help us with it. It was something about you're either in the business of photography, or what was the other half?
Or the photography business.
Photography business.
Yeah, that actually, that I learned that from a really good photographer, Michael Mitchell. He is based in Elkhart, Indiana, and I totally agree with that statement.
Mhm.
If you are on the business of photography, you're focused on the business side.
Mhm.
Whether it's a photography or baking or whatever, you are focused on the business side
Mhm.
first.
Mhm.
But if you're in the photography business, then you're focused on your photography, on your art, and then the business. So it's two different beasts right there.
Yeah.
And for photographers, you need to know which one you are. You trying to feed which beast.
Yeah.
There are companies out there like they're photography companies that they will hire photographers to do their business. There are big companies out there, and I worked for one of them for about 3 years. It was a portrait business. So they are focused on their business of photography, meaning I'm going to hire 10, 15, 20 photographers to do my business. and I'm just gonna focus on the business and growing the business. And it's a huge company. They have hundreds of photographers all around the tri-state, Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan, Indiana. I mean, all these states around the area. Versus what I do is I'm more focused on my photography and making sure that I give my clients what they need versus the business of it.
Okay.
So does that make sense what I'm trying to explain, the difference?
Yeah.
So for those out there that are looking for or start their photography business, they really need to know which one they're trying. Because once that you focus on the business of photography, you're not doing any photography. And if you're focusing on the photography because you're doing what you like, whether it's landscapes or products, then you're lacking on the business, on selling it. So it's a balance.
It's a balance. It's a balance. And thank you for sharing that with us, because you know I know that the way stuff is with social media, sometimes the photography industry finds itself very saturated, and the professionalism becomes a little bit more lower than standard sometimes. The people's eye is not what it used to be when it comes to seeing photography. So that's probably a threat to the industry, just by a little bit. But those who know and they want the professionals, they go see the professionals.
Good, correct.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons that 90% of my business is from marketing agencies.
Gotcha.
So a marketing agency, if there are tasked to refresh a website, they know that they need good photography, high resolution images,
Right.
High resolution videos. I mean, they understand that.
Okay.
And that's why 90% of my clients are from marketing agencies.
I appreciate
That's
that.
what I work with.
So do me a favor, look in that camera and tell them how they can get in contact with you for your services.
My website is alonzophotography.com, and I have also a Facebook page under Alonzo Photography, and my cell phone number 574-215-9211, and usually that's how clients find me.
Okay, Alonzo. Well, thank you so much, my man, for coming on this show, talking to us about your journey. We really appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Let's Talk Business, and may you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for your loyal support. We got a whole new season coming up, season 2. Let's Talk Business. Make sure you join us, all right?